it can be kind of scary, but realistically, the biggest thing is just be overly confident in your abilities. Tell yourself you can do it, mess up 5 things, and then hopefully on the 6th time you get it right. Now, really all this is for is to make sure I'm not going to completely split this board, which might still happen, but so that's my drill point there. Let's go fuck it. That is really soft. Did I even get the gyprock? Or is that spongy? That could be a problem. Let's check that. I don't even see any gyprock though. What is up, guys? It is time for our first home DIY renovation, whatever you want to call it. Not a big one today, but I'm going to hang my TV in my living room, which from my house tour you might have seen my TV was in my bedroom. But I find having a TV in my bedroom kind of messes with my sleep schedule. I end up staying up way too late binge watching TV shows or movies for no reason, and then I'm tired in the morning and I wonder why. So, to remedy that, I'm going to move my TV to my living room, which is where it's supposed to be. In my head, I've got it figured out, but I guarantee you some things aren't going to go according to plan, so I figured, you know what, why not record it? And for someone out there that might not know how to do this, it can be kind of scary, but realistically, the biggest thing is just be overly confident in your abilities. Tell yourself you can do it, mess up 5 things, and then hopefully on the 6th time you get it right. But I'm going to move you guys to the corner, and we're going to get this show on the road. So I forgot. I guess I probably should go over the tools that I have and what I'm going to use. So I have a socket set that is for the leg bolts, carriage bolts, whatever bolts you want to call it. I hate the people that get super fancy about what they're actually called. I'll call it a leg bolt. Maybe it's not. I mean, I think it actually might be a lag bolt, but besides the point. 2 drills just in case, my impact, my regular drill. Drill bit. I'm going to pre-drill my holes into the wood just so I don't split it. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Level. There's my socket set up, my 1/2 inch. I had to take it down. Square, probably don't need. Pencil, might need. Have another one somewhere. Some screws, don't need, but I have a little idea to help me hang it. Wall mount. Piece of cardboard or paper that I'm going to make my jig out of to actually put it on the wall, and I'll show you guys what I mean shortly. But with this wall, there is like old barn boards on it. Like these are probably 70 years old or something. And I don't want to completely strip them, so I'm going to pre-drill. And what I actually should do is take this board completely off. This is where it's going, right on this board. And make sure I have my studs lined up. But I'm fortunate enough, I have a hole in my wall in this corner where I can see my first stud, and then I can measure off that one. And on top of that, in my basement, walking down the stairs, I can see these studs behind this wall. So I can kind of have a rough idea where everything is. I'm also lucky again where these are super old studs. So they're actually like 3x3 or 3 inch by 3 inch. So I'm kind of lucky there. But I'm definitely doing it the hard way. Not hard way. I really should take off that board, make sure I have my studs lined up perfectly, and then mount it from there. And I don't even really need the jig, but I'm just going to do it to show you guys what I mean. So, you know what they say, work hard, not smart, I think is the slogan. But I think we'll figure it out. And if I have to drill a few extra holes in my wall, that's okay. I know a seam filler and painter, and that barn board, I don't think will split, but we'll see. So, first, let's do a little... Okay, this is a bit of a ridiculous angle, but we're going to go with it. I don't even think I really need this jig. It's just more so for the fact that it's kind of annoying trying to hold this up on the wall, trying to get your screws in. So what you do is, and this actually worked out perfectly, usually you would measure your cardboard and make sure it actually fits the size of your backing here. But I didn't. I just cut off a slab off a box, and it's honestly within like a couple centimeters of the length and probably within a couple centimeters of the width, so we lucked out. So I know it's probably hard for you to see, but there are slots, screw holes on the back of this, which actually mounts to the wall. So all I'm going to do is set this directly on top, and it's not really fully level or flat, but there we go. And I don't really have to be too worried about how flat and level this is. This is really just a rough guide, and I'm just going to kind of mark out some of these holes. I don't even know if this pencil works. We'll find out. Just my 4 corners and maybe a few others. Make sure it's not moving around as I'm marking it though. Now you could cut this out, but I don't even think I'm gonna need to use the jig, so like you cut out your markings on the jig and then make it pretty exact, but like I said, we work hard, not smart. I think we're good. Yeah. So, I'll just show you what I mean. This is very rough. Oh, you probably can't see because my lighting is shit. But you can see up here, I've got 1 mark, 2 mark, 3, 4, 5, more on the other side. But that's just a simple way to do it. Let's set you up in the corner now so you can actually kind of see how this process is going to take place. Roll with it. Okay. So, let's move this chair. Grab my measuring tape, which I had out already. So, we're going to mark our first stud, which is... That is it, eh? Actually, I'll take my level for this. So this is my outside end of my first stud. So we'll get pretty rough with it. Looking at my top bubble here. Pretty good. I'll go 1 higher. Good enough. Said we do this really rough. Where's that pencil mark on? Pencil mark on this old gray wood's not the best way to do it, but okay, so this is my outside edge. So luckily I've got about 3 inches to play with. That's what she said. He said? Someone said. What do I do with my measuring tape? Okay. So, I'm going to measure about 3 inches. We'll go slack. 2 3/4. So, I measured downstairs from my inside end, I guess, to my outside end of my next one was only 15 inches. So, what I'll do is I'll measure 15 and go in an extra inch, 1.25 inches. So, this would be about my middle. Let's go actually here as well. So 1.25 inches, we'll go 3 inches again. 3 inches again, puts me right about here. So there's that stud. And from this one to this one was 16 as well, but we're gonna go in about 1 inch. So let's go 17. So, in a perfect world, if I try to mount put my first screw here, and my other one about here, we should be good. Should be. Now this is where these little screws come in handy. I'm going to pre-drill a few of these to make sure they're actually going into studs. Now, again, this is the dummy way to do it. You could have ripped off that board, made sure you knew where your studs were, but we like to make things harder for ourselves. And I did forget a drill bit, but luckily I have one in my porch. Now really all this is for is to make sure I'm not going to completely split this board, which might still happen, but... So that's my drill point there. Go fuck it. That is really soft. Did I even get the gyprock? Or is that spongy? That could be a problem. Let's check that. I don't even see any gyprock though. Okay, crisis 1 averted. So right away I drilled where my measured studs were from the bottom. I can't really see the studs once they get up to like here because the wall, or the stairs are going down and the wall is closed in. So clearly, I got a fucking splinter somewhere. Either the studs only go a couple feet up and stop where I can't see them and new studs are formed or used. I don't know why that would be the case. or they are crooked as sin, because what I did was, off camera, I drilled in down here where I thought my stud was, realized that I was pretty close to where I was, like within half an inch, drilled in a screw just to see if it actually would take bite, and it did, and ran the level straight up, and I'm right here. I might not be able to see it, but I put 6 holes spanning about 4 inches. None of those had bite, so there's no stud behind that. But then I went about 2 inches to the left of where I normally went, like way outside my measurement, which makes sense at the bottom. It's lined up at the bottom, but about 2 inches to the left, I took bite. So the stud could be leaned or staggered. I don't really know. But that being said, we got one little mark, so I'm going to put up my little jig here and do the same thing again. I'm going to drill out. Oh no, how did I have this marked? This way, I think. Yes. So we'll drill out here, which is, I guess I don't even have to really mark it. I will anyway. Why does it take that much to get into the stud? I guess that's board and then gyprock. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So that's one stud. So now we have to make sure that we can find another one. Theoretically, there should be one directly underneath it. But we've come to know that's not always the truth. So before we go any further, we're going to test my theory. I'm just going to run a 2-inch screw through the board and see if I pick up bite on the backside. You can kind of tell that if it's super soft as you're drilling, there's not going to be any bite in the backside. So we'll go down a bit. It's about here. It's just eyeballing. Yeah, so I've took bite there. So the way I know is, my screw is actually being pulled through the front board, which means the back end of the threads are actually biting into something. Whereas here, I could just drill forever and it won't go any deeper. It's just free spinning. So I know that stud carries on down there, which doesn't make any sense by where I drilled in, but that's neither here nor there. So let's try and go off my measurements again. Actually, who are we kidding? I'm going to go about 15 inches this time. Usually 16 off center is where it's supposed to be. But like I said, these are super old and obviously not straight and proper. So, but that's perfect with where my mark was. 15, so maybe they are center. Maybe I'm just an idiot. So here, or slightly left of that, there should be a stud. And if there is, we're in business. So we'll fire one in where it's supposed to be. Oh, well, that's a light switch. Aha! Weird, my circle here is literally spot on. So did I mess up my measurement in the middle, maybe? Which is quite possible, but this measurement was perfect. Like, there's a stud there. So I'm not too worried at all. So I guess let's put up my jig. I'm going to change out my bits again and see. I'm going to just assume there's one underneath it too. That's not what I wanted. I don't really honestly need it. It doesn't look like it's going to split. So let's get my jig up. We have one there. Wow, that's almost perfect. That is perfect, I think. Yeah, that'll go through there. And then, oh no. Oh, that's good. I was gonna say, is something off my jig here? We can level it up. Oh, that's perfect too. Am I good? That's money. We'll level it up here in a second, but I think we're okay. So I think we're gonna try and get this one set up. And now this is where those screws come in handy even more to help me just hold weight. So I'll see if it works though. So now we got our socket. We might not even need it. If I can just get one half set, we're okay. So this is where it gets fun. I want to have my socket somewhat handy. Okay. Oh, they're a little, oh no, they're good. If I can get you started, which I don't know if I can. That might even take enough weight. Now this was just completely free put up, so we'll have to see how level it is here in a second. I can fine tune it a bit. I just want to see, get this socket going. It's got enough weight to hold it. So I just want to take enough bite that I'm not worried it's going to drop. Now we'll check the level, which I'm not really overly concerned about if it's perfect or not. Which it's, oh, why is that? Well, I'll be. That might be off like a 1/16 of an inch. Which I can adjust. I'll show you guys. So this was just completely eyeballed, which is fortunate. So I'll lower this, pick it up, bring you right over. Look at that bubble. Slightly to the right, which means the left end can come up a bit, which I can do when I'm actually kind of setting it up. So we call that a win. So let's set this up over here. I'll change angles for you. Let's go like this. All right, so I'm gonna finish hooking this up. I'm pretty content with that levelness. I will pick up that corner a bit, but other than that, I'm pretty happy. Pre-drilled. That might be off a little bit, but we're gonna run with it. So, let's get to getting. Through the magic of editing, we are ready to hang. So we're gonna move this. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I think I might have hung it a little high. But that's neither here nor there. So I kind of forget how to do this. TBH? No, I don't. I do know that it's a bit of a whore of the bow. Actually, I don't think that's... Something's gonna fall over. Okay, is that... Okay, that's not what's supposed to happen. That's it. Where is it? Right there. This is terrifying. Okay, they're on. That's high, isn't it? Fuck's sakes. Is it high? We'll watch it for a second and see what it's like. Okay, so I need my other drill. This guy. And pray that this doesn't fucking fall. Okay, once I get these on, we're safe. Come on. Okay. Technically, that can't go anywhere. Technically. Here's my TV, hung on the wall. Not sure if I like how high it is or not. Whoa! I think I like that. I can do this too. Why does that look like it's angled? Funny. Oh. It was, but I gotta just tighten it up. Okay. Here's my first home project. TV hung, super crooked, but that's because there's a nut loose in the back, so we'll fix that.